it's Ron. Thanks for stopping by. Hope everybody's doing well. Alright, what is up for today? Well, I got a message from Michael at Near Wild Heaven. He says, Ron, I have this album I'd like to send you as VCLT. He told me what it was and I wasn't familiar with it. So I checked it out, I liked it, and I told him, yeah man, I'd be interested in that. So when the package arrived, there was actually some extra stuff in there. So that was a nice surprise. So we're going to be taking a look at those. And later on, we're going to be going over to the table and checking out a big stack of 45s that I have. And it's stuff that I've picked up throughout the year of 2024, but never shown. So let's get going with the VCLT. First up, he sent this 10-inch Animal Tracks 4-song EP released on Record Store Day 2016. It's a reproduction of the original UK 7-inch EP. No rarities here. All 4 tracks are from the album, but still pretty cool, man. I always love that picture of the band on the front where they're sitting on the railroad tracks. Okay, this next one, he sent me this killer Pink Floyd bootleg, live 1967 BBC, and it seems to be complete with all the sessions from 67. It's all Syd Barrett material, and probably a lot of this I have in my collection, but I know there's at least a couple of things that I don't have for sure. And it's from the December 12th, 1967 session. They do a short instrumental of Green Onions by Booker T and the MGs, if you could imagine that. And then it's followed by another short instrumental that it's untitled. I never heard either of those before. It features the Vegetable Man track, Scream Thy Last Scream, all Syd Barrett, awesome. Come out in 2018. Black vinyl, excellent quality. So that's a very welcome addition of my Pink Floyd collection. Now the one that he wrote me about was this one. It's Left End, Spoiled Rotten. And these guys were out of Ohio, where Michael's from. They were hard glam rock. You know, think New York Dolls, Alice Cooper, maybe a little Slade or Grand Funk Railroad thrown in there. Really cool, rough, raw vocals, sort of whiny, but really, really good. Solid album through and through. I don't think, there's not a dud on this album. It's really good. So yeah, they got a record deal with Polydor Records. They signed him up to a very lucrative 5-year contract, 1 album per year and up to 2 singles per year. And the band caught on in the tri-state area after this album was released, and it went to number 1 on the local charts, and the tri-state area covered Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. And yeah, they were opening up for big name acts. You know, I mean, they were really hot there for a while. The record label wanted to send them to England because they thought they would be very popular there. And for some reason, the record label dropped them. They lost interest in the band, and after the album came out, I guess it just didn't fail to be successful on a national level. Maybe that's the reason why they were dropped. But what a shame, because they never really gone on to do anything after that. Yeah, there was some reunions and stuff. I'm sure they still gigged live. Michael said he saw them back in the day, so that would have been really cool. Yeah, but the lead frontman, he died 10 years ago, Dennis T. Menace. And Michael said he saw the reunion gig and it just wasn't the same anymore. But you know, life marches on. But yeah, very, very cool album. Check it out if you don't know it. And yeah, I really want to thank Michael right now for, you know, everything he sent. So he also sent me a few 45s, so we'll be taking a look at those in a minute. So let's move over to the table. All right, let's get started. Michael sent me 3 45s. The first one is Nas, Open My Eyes. Original copies did have a picture sleeve, which I've never seen. Now I do have this record, but mine doesn't have the horizontal lines on it. And there's a lot of variants as far as the labels go, and the green labels would be the final pressings. Then we got International Submarine Band featuring Graham Parsons. This is a Sunday's issue from 2008. It's a 4-song EP. All 4 songs appeared on their album, taken from their 245s. And it says on the back that those are non-album mono mixes. So that's cool. Black vinyl. This one blew me away. This is Ohio punk rock from 1981 on a small label, Terminal. Man, this is just so good. And original copies came with a picture sleeve. And if you have like a near mint copy with the picture sleeve, you're talking hundreds of dollars. The record is very close to being near mint here, so it's worth some money, that's for sure. And I just can't believe that I got this thing. Fantastic, man. So yeah, awesome record. I guess they're related to another Ohio punk rock band, the Pagans. The lead singer joined the Pagans later on. And I guess he did some vocal work with them, but I don't think he was their front man, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, really cool. This next one is Bliss. This was recorded here in Phoenix, about 5 miles from here. It's 2 tracks taken from their 1970 album, and it's on the Canyon Records label, which is out of Hollywood, California. And yeah, while the album can go for, you know, $400 or $500, the 45 is about $15, but I've never seen one before. Here's another Arizona release, and it's by Giant Sandworms. And this was given away free at the door when they played the Devil House on this night. And it's got 2 studio tracks on one side, and then on the other side it's a split single, so it's got another band on the flip side, Chris Burrows. And it's got an insert. So this was a limited edition of 250 copies. I got number 203. Now there was another 250 copies designated for Tucson. Pretty much the same except for the venue logo on the sleeve. Other than that, they're the same. Yeah, they later became Sandworms, and I guess they got a pretty good cult following because you see their records, you see their albums in the bins, and their original albums can go for over $100. This is a Bob Dylan Philco box set 45. It's rubber stamp Philco for the box set that they use for promotional purposes called Disc A Go-Go. 1966. So what they did was they took like maybe 6 or 7 45s, threw them in the box, rubber stamped them, and, you know, gave them away or whatever they did with them. So cool. Man, this was a great find. I needed this so bad. The Doors, Break On Through, their first 45 on the Goddess label. Yeah, I used to have a really nice copy of this with the near mint picture sleeve. And about 15 years ago I sold it because some guy offered me $300 for it, which was an insane amount of money. But yeah, I kind of regret it because the sleeve was just beautiful. But so glad to get this. I Can't Help But See You, Little Girl, Iron Butterfly. This is a non-album single from 1969. And it came out right after the album Ball, which it might even have been like Ball outtakes. But yeah, it still retains the original Iron Butterfly sound. Very cool, stereo record. And I did have this promo that I had for a long time. And I come to find out that this one is mono, and there's some editing on it. So it was edited for radio play. So they took about part of the guitar solo in the center and they faded it out early. This is the Easy Beats Falling Off the Edge of the World promo. And it's got a non-album B-side, Remember Sam? And that was recorded in '66 during their first album recording session. And Falling Off the Edge of the World it's a title track from their second US album. And this version is different from the UK version. This is The Boys, Timothy, and you might know this song. Very controversial back in the day in 1971, as it was about cannibalism, as admitted by the songwriter Rupert Holmes. So this is the A side. This is the normal version of Timothy, and this is the B side with a revised lyric. Now this promo came out much later, after the song had been out for a while, because the record label started getting cold feet about it. So what they did was, there's one line that they removed, and they re-recorded another line and inserted it into the song. It's basically the same version of the song, it's got one line that's been revised. So the original line is, my stomach was full as it could be, and they revised it to, both of us as fine as we could be. This is the Stranglers' first record that was issued in the United States even before their album. It's a 4-song EP on A&M Records, and it's on pink vinyl. So what it is, it came out in '77, and it's this is their first UK single, A and B sides, and this is their second UK A side, and then Hanging Around ended up on the album. So cool. And this is Berlin, Sex Ima, US 45 autograph. Now believe it or not, I pulled this out of the bin for $4. And I had this record back in the 80s. So, yeah, very, very cool, man. 1983. And it's got Terry Nunn and John Crawford. And then these are later band members. I don't know when this was signed. It could have been the 90s or the 10s. I don't know. It's not the most recent band, though. But, yeah, very, very cool, man. Terry Nunn, boy, was she ever hot. And from Terry Nunn, we get Alice Cooper. Yeah, sorry to have to do that to you guys, but... yeah, Alice looks pretty messed up there. This is a UK 7-inch, 7 and 7 as live version. Not. It's a studio version. This was issued in the UK to promote his European tour. Has a gatefold cover. Now the B-side, Generation Landslide 81, that is live. But 7 and 7 is definitely studio. Okay, next we got Sweet, Teenage Rampage. This is an original UK single. And Teenage Rampage was not released in the United States. nor was Own Up and Take a Look at Yourself. Really awesome hard rocker from them. Yeah, they're really not known for their hard rock tracks, but they did rock, you know, they rocked out. And they were very influential on a lot of the 80s heavy metal bands, you know. So cool. Jerry Lee Lewis, Lovin' Up a Storm, backed with Big Blonde Baby, 1959. This is one you don't usually come across out in the bin. Usually it's Great Balls of Fire or a Whole Lot of Shakin'. Typical condition you would find this in, but it sounded great. These old Sun records are tough as nails, so cool. Here's one out of Wisconsin. It's on a Kuka sub-label, Citation. And it's Paul Steffen and the Royal Lancers. And the B-side is an early version of I Fought the Law, way before Bobby Fuller 4 did their version. And it's from July of 1962. And yeah, second press maybe, because there's some blue vinyl pressings of this, but it's not known if those are the first pressings. They could be promos, who knows. But very, very cool. Tommy Adderley, and he was a European artist. This is a US 45 promo. I just don't understand is the song that Anne Margaret did in the early 60s that featured the early use of fuzz guitar. And then on the B-side is Whole Lot of Shakin' Going On. Good record from 1964. Now this is the Chancellor's Yo-Yo and Little Latin Loopy-Loo, written by Bill Medley of the Righteous Brothers. Now notice they got his name wrong there. It says Phil Medley. So they might have been thinking of Phil Everly, I don't know, but that's kind of weird. And then the A-side is Yo-Yo, and look who wrote that. Michael Judge of Beavis and Butthead fame, if you can believe it. No, I'm just joking. That is pretty hilarious though, Mike Judge. Cool garage. Here's another garage record, The Coachman, Mr. Moon, which is pop garage, that's the A-side. And then the B-side is cool folk rock, kind of a ballad folk rock. Very cool, better than the A-side. This is a re-release. The original local release was released in Nebraska in '66, and this was picked up for national distribution on Bear, which is a Minneapolis, Minnesota label. So Psychedelic might know these guys because he's from Nebraska. Alright, this is the gem of the bunch pretty much, and it's the Griffs, In My Life, and I picked this up here locally. This is a killer garage 45, and the A-side is sort of pop psych, dreamy pop psych, just really good. And the B-side is this heavy fuzzed out garage stomper. Now you might know the Griffs. They did that song Keep Dreamin' that's on early volume of Back from the Grave. That is their best song, Keep Dreamin'. But yeah, this is just a really good record on 5D. It was issued out of Charlotte, North Carolina in November of '66. The band relocated to Michigan, and it was re-released on a small Michigan label when they were living over there. So awesome. And the final one, let me get it out so you can see it. And it's I Don't Know What You've Got, But It's Got Me, Part 1, Little Richard on VJ. And then it's got Part 2 on the flip, which is kind of deceiving because it's actually two different takes. It's not one take split in half. Although some of these records were issued that way, as well as the takes were switched on different sides at different points. And there's even a version of this record that's got a totally different B-side. So it's like they kept messing with it and changing it. It's so weird. But this was issued in 1965, in August of 65 to be exact. And this is one of the records that features Jimi Hendrix on guitar. Now that has been verified. A lot of the recordings that Little Richard did for BJ, it's not quite known which ones that Hendrix plays on, because VJ did not keep personnel records. But this one has definitely been verified to have Jimi on it, and it does sound like his guitar work on it too. So really excellent soul from Little Richard on this one. So very, very cool. And picked that up pretty damn cheap. So that's going to do it for the showing. And what's been on the turntable is this band Sensations Fix. And the name of the album is Portable Madness. And this is the early 70s Italian prog band. And this is an Italian pressing. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good to pull out and listen to every once in a while. So that's going to do it. So thanks for joining me, and I shall see you guys in the future. Later.